Casa Roots. Today I'm going to be teaching you a portion of my Montu practice. Montu is the Kemetic African deity associated with conquering vitality and warfare. And so a part of my Montu Arts practice is actually doing wellness practices, things that, promote wellness, vitality, and conquering strength, as we call in Balanta language, faye in my body. And so one of the ways I do that is by doing what I like to call Tchété, which in the Balanta language of Krasa means standing meditation. So in a lot of combat arts, the first thing you learn is how to stand. And it's very fitting, you learn how to stand up for yourself. But at the same time, it's not about confronting an opponent, but more so feeling your body, feeling the earth beneath your feet, and really grounding in that. And the reason why we focus on standing is because as human beings, us standing up is the primary position that we're in whenever we confront anything in our lives. Whether it be we want to go somewhere, move, we have to be in a standing position, otherwise it's crawling. So your stance is very important in combat practices, but also in your general well-being. And that's why we're going to work on that right now. So I have a couple of stances that I'm going to show you. The first one, you're going to assume a shoulder width distance with your feet, meaning there's about 2 feet length between your feet. You're going to put a little bit of a bend in your knees right here, and then you're going to make sure your pelvis is tilted a little bit forward. So it's not like that, it's more so like this. And that way you're going to be able to get deeper into this stance, which will make you more sturdy, because it's all about being grounded and sturdy so that you can have a strong base. So this is your base. From here, we're going to raise our arms in what I like to call the Ka position. Ka is an ancient Medu hieroglyph meaning the soul, and it's represented by 2 arms up in the air. And so this is also a basic fighting position where you can have your arms open, palms open, you can go into a lot of different techniques from here, but it's all from here, right? And it can also be a very defensive position. But we do this to open up the lungs, because we're going to be taking 5 breaths in this position, right? So when you take your breaths, ideally you want to breathe in a shorter duration than you breathe out. So let's say you breathe in for 2 seconds, hold it for a half second, and then breathe out for 4. Hold it for a half second, breathe in for 2, hold it, breathe out. So that is the basic Petit Tchété. Now, if you want to mix in the combat application, what we're going to do now is we're going to blade our bodies, which means you're going to tilt your body so that your shoulder and your arm is forward. Now we're getting into a more combat orientation with our stance, rather than a more meditative Ka position expressing our soul. But it's the same principle, shoulder width apart with your feet. We're going to start in the orthodox position, which means your left foot's going to go forward. So to start that, bring your attention to your right foot, and I want you to turn it 45 degrees. Then I want you to imagine a line in front of your toes, and I want you to step over that line with your left foot. Now you should imagine a line between the back of your left heel and draw it, and it should go right in front of your right toe. Right? There should be a line connecting those two. Now we're going to be in the front stance, front Tchété. Tchété means stance. So the front stance means we're going to bend our left knee, meaning more of the weight is going to go forward here, and then we're going to lift up this right foot. This is called a kickstand. Shout out to my 52 blocks instructor, like Burley. This is one of the stances that he teaches, and he teaches that we should have about 6 60% of our weight forward and about 40% of our weight back. That way we're still in a balance, we can switch if need be, but we're always in an orientation. And this front Tchété is a more offensive, ready to rumble orientation, right? It can be good for grappling, getting in, boom, you know, anything from there. But we're gonna hold this in our car position or just a basic, you know, palm strike position with our bichif, our hands open, and we're gonna do 5 reps again. Now we're gonna switch the back stance. Same orthodox position with our left foot forward. We're just gonna switch the kickstand from the back to the front now. So now the front foot is off the ground in the kickstand. Now 60% of the weight is on the back foot. The back leg is the one that's bearing all the weight and pressure. This is your grounding, this is your base. This is what you should be pivoting off of. And this is a more defensive position. You curl up, kick out. It's more elusive, it's more for countering. But Bruce Lee called it the cat stance, by the way. But we're gonna hold this for 5 reps too, regular top position. Good. Ideally, you want to do the same thing southpaw. Southpaw meaning your right foot is in front. And we're going to start with the front stance. So mind you, whenever you get back whenever you're switching rather from your stance, always try to get into a base. Imagine your feet shoulder width apart, pivot 45 degrees, step over the line, bend down. Bring your arms up, make sure your kickstand is up, breathe 5 times. Switch back stance, southpaw, 5 reps. You can stretch up if you want. Stretch out your arms, open up your lungs, your diaphragm. Just moving around. This is a great practice for your rising routine. When you first arise out your bed in the morning, this is a great way to open up your lungs, to ground it into your legs, because you have to remember your legs are what carries you throughout the day, and your lungs is what sustains you with the oxygen and blood flow and energy throughout the day to keep on moving. Your life force comes from your breath. So my Montu practice normally starts with breathing meditation, so standing meditation and breathing meditation together is the foundation of my Montu practice. And that's what I'll share with you today. So Abene for watching, like and subscribe for more content, and we'll be back again. Happy flip over.